Kia ora, Helen Brums coming to you live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling day. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast number 1399. Whew, moving day is done. Wow, what a rocking day. Now, yesterday I got a call to say that the guys would be calling me at either 8, 8:30 or 9 to tell me that they were like 30 minutes away. And I was like, that's fine, not a problem. And I was just loading up the car with the stuff that I needed to take with me, and getting ready to head over to the storage unit because I thought, well, if I get there before them, I can get out the couple of things that I need to get out, which one of them is the box for my computer here, and there's another couple of pieces, and I thought I'll get them out before they arrive. Just as I'm taking the last load to the car, the last little bit to the car, my phone rings and they say, we're 15 minutes away. I says, I'm 20 minutes away. So when I got there, they were lined up. There was the car, the truck, and a couple of cars behind them all waiting. This was the whole team. We ended up with a team of eight. Yes, a team of 8. I have to tell you, off-duty firefighters will move are awesome. They are amazing. The guys are a hoot. There was a lot of fun, and I thought, man, this is taking forever. But when I looked at my clock, we'd only been there an hour, and they'd already cleaned out one storage unit, and we're halfway through the second storage unit. And they started off with the one that was lightly packed and got that all done, and then they started moving in on the 10 by 20. So the 10 by 10 got done first, but within an hour they had the 10 by 10 finished, and they were halfway through unloading the 10 by 20 into the truck. And then they had another truck turn up because it turned out that there was just a little more than one truck could take. And I'm like, damn it. But that was okay. It got everything to the house and all of that. And when I got to the house, I drove ahead of them and got to the house so I could, they had the address and they were just basically locking up the trucks. I'd already been up to the office, and because we were there so early, the office wasn't open till 9 o'clock, which meant the restrooms weren't open till 9 o'clock. So these poor guys were like doing runs across to McDonald's across the street and back again. And then at some point, like around 8:30, the music starts going through their sound system. We're like, wait, what? And like these guys are walking down and they're like singing along to something that's on somebody's phone. And all of a sudden this other music comes in, and we're just all standing there just like, where'd that come from? And then about 15 minutes later, they actually locked the doors. The office locked the doors open because they could probably see over the cameras that every time we weren't manually holding them open. My sole job for that time was to open the doors so the guys outside could come in. So I had to stand on the inside and just move in front of the doors so they would open and the guys could come back in again. That was my job. And then at 8:40 and then at 8:45, my job got terminated when the main office saw, they're doing a move. Okay, pressed a button and those doors were locked open. I was like, oh, now I'm out of a job. But they were very efficient, great guys to work with. Have nothing but high praise for them. They were awesome. Because my stuff's been in storage for a lot, there are a lot of boxes that have been broken by the previous movers when they moved the stuff from California to Arizona. When we did the move from California to Arizona, I was checking things off on the list, and there were like 30-something pieces that were missing. And I said, well, where's the rest of the stuff? And they go, well, that's it. That's all we've got on the truck. I said, I'm missing 30 pieces. Oh, no, that can't be right, and blah, 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 blah. You know, they were giving me all this BS, and I'm like, already in my head, I'm like, I am never working with this company again to move out of state, interstate, whatever. They said, you just have to figure, if there's anything missing, you just have to claim it on the insurance. You got like 6 months. But I couldn't do that because I had no idea what was missing, and because they just had boxes numbered. I didn't know which boxes were missing or anything or what was in those boxes. Well, today I kind of have an idea of 2 items that are missing. One of them I am really upset about because it's a closet box, and I know that it got put on the truck in California because you could see they have the rod piece that goes across and comes out the end of the box, and you could see that never got loaded or unloaded today, that box. And the thing that annoys me the most about that box missing is it has my wedding dress in it, and it also has a couple of things of Brad's in there. One of them being a piece of movie memorabilia that he had from Planet of the Apes. It's a vest that was actually worn in the movie, in the original Planet of the Apes movie. It was worn, and he wore it when he did his dress up. When him and his mates did their dress up as Planet of the Apes, he wore it to the opening of Star Wars. because they all went dressed as Planet of the Apes, and this vest was not only in the movies, but he also wore it to the opening of Star Wars. And I am really pissed that that's missing. And of course, now it's 2 years later, and there's nothing I can do to try and recover it. But I'm going to ask them anyway. I'm going to say, look, you guys have got like 30 boxes missing. I just got the stuff out of storage. And in the other box, the other thing that's missing is my scrapbooking supply box. I have a box that's full of albums and pages, and actually it's not. It's a big rolling cart, so it's hard to miss it. It's a rolling cart. And it's got albums in there. Fortunately, it's all brand new. It was brand new supplies, but there was my sticker album was in there, all the stickers, all my pens, all my markers, my page protectors, my albums. Fortunately, no photographs were in there, so that was a relief. But I'm really upset about the wardrobe box being missing. But I'm hoping like hope that maybe I had the wrong box. And I had a couple of like wardrobe closet. I had a couple of closet boxes and opened them up. One of them, I thought, oh, maybe this is it, because when I saw the closet box, I said master bedroom. One of, I don't know what's below, but I can tell you what was on top. There was a box on top that had stuff in for the garage. Underneath that were all my power cords from the garage, and I don't know what's underneath that because there's a whole pile of power cords. You've got to get out of the way. There's another box down underneath that. The other one, I opened it up, and it has my tall speakers in there, my front speakers. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so I suspect the other boxes that are in there with those speakers are the boxes that have the other speaker, that have the smaller speakers in it, and maybe the subwoofer. So maybe that's the electronics box. And then what else was there? There was a whole, I tell you, it's going to be like Christmas opening this stuff up, because there is a whole lot of boxes that had nothing written on them. They're like, where do you want this to go? And I'm like, is there nothing written on? We're like, check all the sides. Nothing had been written on these boxes by the packers from back in California. And so I'm sort of like, dang it. So it's going to be like Christmas. And we got everything. We got to the house, and I had gone ahead inside. Last night I put all the signage up, turned on all the lights this morning, opened up the doors for them so they're ready to come in. We had the two trucks backed end to end by the driveway there, so they were unloading both trucks at the same time. And I said, well, let me show you what's going where. I said, I've got signs up, so I just need to tell you which direction to go so you know what you're looking for. And so I took them for a quick walk through the house, and we ended in the kitchen. I says, now help yourself to refreshments. I had a tray with sliced up watermelon on there. I had snacks out. I had fresh fruit out, and in the refrigerator were bottles of water and the small cartons of coconut water, and then packets of electrolytes that they could put into the water. And they just stood there stunned. I said, help yourself to a snack. I said, it's going to be here all day. Just help yourself. I said, there's water and coconut water in the refrigerator, so help yourself. And they were like, this is for us. They were stunned. I had these firefighters stunned that somebody had taken the time to give them refreshments. I said, yeah. I said, I always do this when I get moved into a house. I said, you guys are doing the hard work and the hard lifting, and especially in this heat, I have to make sure you guys stay hydrated so you're not falling over on the job. Forgetting that they're firemen and they know how to do this. And they were like, nobody does this for us. I'm like, seriously? Like, is it not a thing you've got movers coming in who are carting in boxes, sweating profusely, getting dehydrated, and you're not providing refreshments to hydrate them or keep their energy levels up? Wow. I was floored when they told me that. And then later on, the guy who was in charge of the team, who had driven the second truck, he said to me, as we're doing all the business side of things at the end of he says, hey, thanks for taking care of my guys. And I go, what do you mean? He says, all of this. And he points to the island in the kitchen where the watermelon was left at, the watermelon, the fruit and all that was like. And I'm going, but is this not something that you get? And they're like, no. He says, I can't remember the last time anybody ever did this for us. In fact, I don't think anybody ever has done anything like this for us. So people, if you have movers who are moving boxes into your house, take care of them, provide them with hydration, give them a snack, keep their energy levels up. They keep working. And there was one guy who totally cracked me up. These guys were all sweethearts, and they were joking around with each other and all that. And you could tell they've worked together a lot of time and everything else. And they've got a good team camaraderie going. But there was one, and I said to him when we were at the storage, and I go, I says, you're not really a morning person, are you? He goes, what do you mean? I says, well, you're kind of walking around like you're half asleep. And he turns around and says, oh no, I get up at 5 every morning. He says, I'm definitely a morning person. He says, I get up at 5 o'clock. And I go, then I stand corrected on that. I apologize. So, but then he was like, you've got watermelon. And he was, every time I saw him, he had a piece of watermelon in his hand. And I was just like, great. I'm glad that they're eating it. They're staying hydrated and, finding ways to do that. And when I had the electrolytes out, I had the LMNT electrolytes out, which are a friend of mine who is very big on keto tells me they're very keto friendly. And so I had them out and they're going, oh, this is like the IV stuff. I says, no. It's not like the IV stuff. And they go, what do you mean it's not like the IV stuff? I have no idea what that is. I says, well, for one, the IV stuff I know is one of their first two ingredients is sugar. I said, this doesn't have sugar in it. It's actually keto friendly. And they're like, really? And then they were all like getting bottles of water out and putting this electrolyte stuff into there. So I said, in this heat, you guys have to keep your electrolytes up. You have to. And I says, I know you know that when you guys are fighting fires and things and how hot it gets and all of that sort of stuff. I totally get it. I totally understand. So I just want to make sure that you guys in this heat, that you're taking care of yourselves as well. And one of the guys, this guy was such a sweetheart. He comes up to me and he just gives me the biggest hug. And I was like, oh my God, I haven't had a hug in ages. And then afterwards I went around and thanked them all and gave them their tips, had them already ready in envelopes and everything else. And this guy comes up to me again and he gives me another hug and says, thank you so much for taking care of us today. And I said, well, thank you for moving my stuff. But they were the sweetest guys. They really were. They were a great bunch of guys to work with. I would definitely use them again. If I have to move again, I would definitely get them in to pack up because they were coming out and they're going, did we move you in here? I went, nope. Okay. And then somebody else came out later on and said, and the boss came out later on and says, did we move you in here? I went, nope. He says, okay. And then I had to sign a waiver about the boxes because some of the boxes were damaged and broken and things like that. And they were already in that condition in storage. So I had to sign the waiver to say, yes, I know that these boxes are broken and all of that sort of stuff. These guys work in Surprise, Sun City, and Peoria in this local area. So it's a great setup that they've got. And I have to say, these guys look young. And I sent a message to my friend Kathy today. Either I'm getting old or these kids are getting younger. I'm only 56 years old, and these kids and some of them look like they were barely out of high school. And I'm like, oh my gosh! And these are the guys out there that are defending us against fire and that sort of stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh! But yeah, they were a bit older than high school. Well, one of them was actually 18, unless the other guy was joking about that, because they were talking about intuition kicking in at the age of 25. He says, don't worry, he says, you've got another 7 years to go. And I'm like, he's 18? Okay. I knew he looked young, so I wasn't far off the mark. But I don't know if they were joking around with that or not. So, yeah. But it was good. Everything is moved in. I actually have 5 boxes unpacked because I was looking for pillows. By the time these guys left, they left somewhere around midday. They've been there 4 hours to empty the 2 units, drive 6 miles to my house, and get the stuff unloaded. It took less than 4 hours for them to do, or just over 4 hours for them to do it. They did a fantastic job. And even though it looked like they were joking around and all of that, they were on task. And all I had to do is I just had to stand there in the shade of the garage and just go, books. And they knew where the signs were, and dining or family room, guest rooms, craft room, master bedroom, over there in the garage. But I never saw that big black bag with the purple trim come off the trucks. And I never saw that box that has the metal pole sticking out of it come off the trucks either. So either I'm not remembering the pole thing correctly, but I'm pretty sure I am, because I used the pole thing to hang the clothes on from the closet. So those are the 2 things that are missing. And the one that really annoys me the most is the one that's got my wedding dress in it and the Planet of the Apes tunic that Brad had. The fact that those 2 boxes, that box is missing, it has really upset me on that one. And I know it's just things, but I got emotional unpacking one of the boxes today because there was Brad's USC, University of Southern California, for those that don't know, his USC sweatshirts there, and had a bit of a moment when I pulled those out because I guess I wasn't expecting them, but I know that there's stuff of his mixed in with the other stuff and all of that. There's one box that's marked Brad's yearbooks. And I thought, I'm standing there, I'm going, I could have sworn that those were in a trunk. And then the guys looked at me and go, what? I says, one that says Brad's yearbooks. I could have sworn those yearbooks were in a trunk. Or maybe they were in a trunk and we got rid of the trunk and So I'm trying to remember how we originally got them. But yeah, but the guys were really good. Like I said, really good, really sweet, very efficient. Got things done. Some of them were teaching them how to go down the ramps from the back of the truck with a load of boxes, and then to get up the little hump on the driveway. And we did some walking today, and then I had to go find some pillows because I left my pillows behind here on the bed. And my plan was, after the movers left, was to go take a nap, and then figure out what was for lunch. And so instead, I ended up hopping in my car, driving down to Costco because I paid for my membership online. I just had to go pick up my card. And I thought, oh, maybe I'll just get something here because they usually have those things. So I got their chicken bake thing from their deli, their food court. They had that, and got some churros, and what was the other thing I got? Oh yeah, hot dog. I know it's not good for you or anything like that, but I've been doing a lot of standing that day. I wasn't doing too bad on the hydration. I was staying pretty hydrated, so that was good. And that watermelon, I actually did an Instacart order the other day from Costco, and the guy that picked out the 2 watermelons did a phenomenal job because those were the sweetest, juiciest watermelons I have had in a very long time, and they were seedless. And the guy, and like I said, that one guy just kept eating watermelon, and the other ones were concerned that you're eating all this watermelon and want to go to the bathroom all the time. And so they were kind of joking around about things like that, and it was a lot of fun. But so I had to go digging through boxes to find pillows because I knew I had some pillows in boxes. So I finally found those when I got back from having lunch. And I will tell you, Costco was swamped. And I said to the guy in membership, I said, "Is it always like this on a weekday?" He goes, "Oh yeah." I'm like, dang, I should have asked him what the quietest time was to come. But there were a lot of people there with their kids running around, and these are preschoolers. So I guess that's the time that all the parents, although there seemed to be a lot of families there, mum, dad, and the kids. There were a lot of those there today too. And I know school was in session, so maybe they're homeschooled, I don't know. But yeah, there was a lot of people in there for, I mean, it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon around lunchtime, so yeah, there you go. What else? And then we finally found the pillow. I finally found the boxes with the pillows in, and so I was able to have a nap for a bit and then get up and start unpacking other boxes. And here was my way of unpacking, right? Oh, I need to go get the scissors to cut this tape. I walk down to the kitchen to go get the scissors. Oh, I need to take the wrapping off the couch. So I get the scissors, I go and unwrap the couch, and then I'm like, okay, oh yeah, I needed to do, that's what I got the scissors for. So then I take the wrapper from around the couch, put it by the door to go out to the garage, and I go back to the bedroom and realize, oh, I actually need my clever cutter. If you don't know what a clever cutter was, I have one sitting here. I did at one point. Maybe that's the one I took to the house. But a clever cutter is, oh, I do have one. This is a clever cutter. You got blades in here on either side, so you can't, but the cool part is that you hook it underneath the tape and just, and then hook it on the tape, and it's very quick and easy for undoing tape around boxes. And so I've been using, I got one of those out at the house. I've got one over there for when I get parcels here. And my new doormat arrived today as well. So if you want to see what that looks like, check out the photo on Facebook. And Zeffie's new little purple shoes arrived today too. And I don't get to see her till Thursday because I got to be up early and online early tomorrow. And I'm like thinking, oh crap, I got to do that in the RV where it's hot. I mean, it's 80 degrees inside the RV at 7 o'clock in the evening. I am so done with this heat. It was so nice being, but I can't set up a desk right now because I've got boxes everywhere. So I do have to do some organizing. And I've got the washer and dryer arriving on Thursday. I've got contractors going in tomorrow to finish off stuff. And I left the shoes out at the house because I got them delivered to the house. But they're really cute. They've got a good sole on the bottom of them, and they've got a mesh on the top, so that's they're aerated shoes. So they're not like waterproof shoes that everything's sealed up. But they're kind of cute and purple. To get purple ones. I got some boxes unpacked. I got a laundry basket unpacked that had stuff from the closet in there, so I was able to get all of that on. And that's where I found the USC sweatshirts. What else did we get done today? Oh, there's just a bit of this and a bit of that, but we got, one moment, checking my pedometer, 7,283 steps so far today, just walking around the storage unit and the house. And to get up to the office at the storage unit while the guys were finishing up to let them know, hey, these lockers are being cleared out right now, and this is okay, just leave the doors up, and we'll close out your account as soon as you sign out through the gates. And so the guys had one code to use. Because each locker had its own code, and I had to use the other code. We will see. But keeping a hopeful mind with the stuff that's missing. I'm pretty sure they're in a closet box, but I could be wrong. It's been 4 years since those were packed. 2 years since they were moved to Arizona from California. And I know, and if they are there, then I'm not seeing. And I've walked around those rooms with those boxes. I got boxes everywhere. It is unbelievable. And some of the time I was just telling them what room to go into, but sometimes they had 2 boxes were kitchen and one was books, and I'm just like, stick it in the kitchen. Or there might have been one kitchen with 3 craft ones on top. Just take the whole thing to the craft room. So I do have some boxes spread into rooms they're not supposed to be in right now. But, it's going to come together, and this weekend there'll be a lot of unpacking done. And not sure what Zeffie's going to... I'm curious as to what Zeffie's going to do with my club chair, because I have this brown geometric chair, abstract pattern on it, and I absolutely love this chair. It cost me $80 at one of those rental places, and where you could rent the furniture, or they had the sales price. Once it was done with renting it, they put it in the sales price. It was like $70 or $80. And I remember the day we brought it home in Virginia, and Brad and I carried it into the front door, and we had just gotten Gus. So this club chair we bought in December of 2004, and we got Gus on the 4th of December 2004, and we had only had him maybe 3 or 4 days at that point. And we come home and with this chair, and because I wanted a chair for the reading room, and this chair was perfect. And so we walked in the door, we put the chair down. This is how quick it happened. We put the chair down. Brad turned to close the front door. He turns back, and Gus is curled up in the chair like, this is mine. And and I'm not sure who got to sit in it more after that. Was it because it was in my office, and if I was working, he would come and sit and curl up in the chair there. If I was reading, he would just stand there and just look at me like, you're in my chair, get out. And then when we moved from Virginia to California, all of our stuff, of course, was put into storage and everything else. And then when we finally got it unpacked 2.5 years later in San Diego, the chair had been put inside, and I was the guys had taken all the wrappers off everything. And so the chair's there, and I looked at the cushion, so I took the cushion out, the seat cushion out, to fluff it up a little bit, and went to put it back in. And sitting tucked in the corner of the chair underneath the seat cushion was a dog biscuit that Gus had buried there. So I took a picture of it, and I said to Brad, do you think I should throw it out or just leave it there? He's like, toss it. I had already tossed it at that point. And so I put the cushion back in, put the chair into place where we were going to be using it. And Brad was driving down from LA with Gus at that time. And so he gets there with Gus, and Gus gets in, he starts sniffing around, and he spots the chair. And he's like over the side of the room. He looks over, and there's the chair. So he just turns and makes a beeline for the chair, jumps up on it, and puts his nose into that corner where the biscuit was, looking for his biscuit. And I said, sorry, mate, that's out of there. And he just looked at me like, there's supposed to be a biscuit here. Where is it? And then he sat down in the chair and curled up. And you could tell he had grown a little bit since he last been in that chair. He was a little over big for that. But, yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what Zeffie does with that chair, because it was Gus's chair, and it'll have Gus's smell all over it. And I hope she doesn't try to pee on it. But if she goes to do that, I'm just going to say, nope, no peeing. No peeing in the house or on furniture. So it would be interesting, because the couches that we have, like they got talking about age or something like that, and I go, yeah, these are really nice. They go, these look like good comfy couches. I said, yeah. I said, hard to believe that we got them in 1998. And one of the guys turns around to the guy and the guy at the front end says to the guy who I'm walking behind, turns around to him and says, Dan, these couches are older than you. He goes, no, I was 96. So he would be 27. And I thought, man, I thought you were younger than that. So then they're going on about ages and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it's been a very good day. Very happy with everything to get into the house. And I just didn't realize how much stuff there was, or how many boxes I have that have nothing written on them. And so I said to the guys, I said, well, this is going to be like Christmas all over again, because I've got no idea what's in any of these boxes. And yeah, but I know that those 2 boxes, well, one's a big bag with one half has albums on, the other half has the page protectors. It has the the backgrounds for the pages, the sticker folder, the markers, the double-sided tape, all of that sort of stuff. And it's like my whole scrapbooking supplies in one thing. Plus I have a couple of other things that have scrapbooking supplies in. So I'm not completely out of scrapbooking supplies, but I am out of scrapbooks because most of them are in that thing. So I'm annoyed that that's gone missing. Very annoyed because I have photos ready to go into those albums. I just didn't have the space to do that. And one of the guys picks up my sewing machine. He goes, what is this? And I go, it's a sewing machine. And I said, there's another one around somewhere as well. I said, you put in, because he's like doing like curls with it or something. Because it's in its case. And so he's like doing curls with it. And I says, you ever seen that movie, The Pursuit of Happiness? I says, yep. So it's a very good movie. I said, the book's even better. And he's sort of like, really? I says, yeah. He says, well, this kind of reminds me of that case that he had to carry around. And I says, yeah, I totally get that. So, but yeah. So we got 5 boxes unpacked so far. Had a nap. Found the pillows. Had a nap. Don't know if we'll get back tomorrow to do any more because I've got to be at work at 7:45 Pacific time, and I go through till 4 o'clock. So I may go over at the end of the day and do some more unpacking. I will be over there Thursday morning. Zephy's getting dropped off at the house Thursday morning at 10 a.m. And if I can't get the internet working correctly, then I've got to be back here by 12 to start work on Thursday. And then we'll do the same thing on Friday. Friday morning we'll spend over there, and Friday afternoon back here. And I found my mattress protector is still missing. It's still an MIA. But just before I left the house, I got a message from the company to say that my mattress protector is on the way. Here is the UPS number for it, the UPS tracking number. So now I can go track it. So as soon as I get that and get that washed, I can get that on the bed with the washed sheets and the washed comforter, and then we can start sleeping there. That's the only thing that's holding us back right now is I don't have the bed made up because I don't have the mattress protector to put on the bed first. And my washer and dryer arrives on Thursday as well. So it's all, and I've got to find which internet company is already wired into the house, because being a rental, they won't let you put any other ones in there. You got to use what's already there. So I have to find out what's already there and get that hooked up, because it seems that my T-Mobile home internet thing, it may not have a strong enough signal there, even with it sitting up on top of the cabinets on an outside wall. They say get it as high as you possibly can on an outside wall. But I still only get a 2, maybe I get a shaky 3. Whereas here I get 4 or 5. There I get a shaky 3, maybe a 2, but definitely a shaky 3. So yeah, and I need to have a little more stable for that, for the calls and stuff that I have to do. So anyway, I'm out of here for the evening. Go have a super fantastic sparkling evening. I will be back online tomorrow evening at, or do I have a guest? I've got guests coming up. You need to make sure that you put in your calendar for Monday night, Monday, 5th of June. We have a very special guest coming on. It's going to be a very sparkly affair. It's going to be a very sparkly affair. And if you don't know what that means, you'll just have to show up at 5 p.m. on Monday to find out. Sorry, 6 p.m. on Monday to find out. 6 p.m. on Monday to find out. Maybe I'll be in my new office at that point. I may be sitting at the dining room table. It's currently face down on the floor because I've got to attach the legs to it and then flip it over. But I have to move stuff in order to try and stand it back up again. So anyway, I'm out of here. My dinner's getting cold. I've got Popeyes tonight and haven't had that for a long time. So I figured I need lots of meat. That'll work. Anyway, go have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we'll be back live tomorrow evening around 6 to 7. I'm not giving you a definite time because I don't know. All I know is that I'm sleeping very well at night. So go out and have a super fantastic sparkling evening. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Hei konera.